Today I want to speak with you about crime and about what you can do to interpret and assess crime rates. Lots of people talk about crime rates, whether crime is up or down, and the degree to which people should fear becoming a crime victim. I want you to be an intelligent consumer of crime rate information, and I want you to have the proper level of fear of crime. Not too much, so you fear living a normal life, and not so little, so you put yourself at risk. Let's start with information about crime rates. Most crime rate statistics you hear are a measure of crimes reported by citizens to law enforcement. The FBI's Uniform Crime Reports are the subject of news stories every year, and they count crimes which are known and reported to law enforcement. So what is going on currently with reported crime rates? Over the past few years, some crime rates have risen slightly, especially the rates of serious property crimes such as large thefts and burglaries. At the same time, our staffing levels have gone down. This is why I've urged funding for a Sheriff's Department proactive property crime unit to go after high-rate burglars and thieves, and I'm happy to report that the County Council has heeded our pleas, granted us 5 additional positions to deal with the most active property criminals in the county. We've been very successful in this effort. Recently, when we look at reported crimes, we're seeing a slight uptick in serious violent crimes, murders, serious assaults, armed robberies. You're hearing more news stories about robberies, shootings, and other acts of violence here in Pierce County and throughout the region. It's not a huge increase, but it is notable. Such crimes impact our resources especially hard, since violent crimes are more serious than property crimes and usually take more resources to investigate and to prosecute. So with the current trends, what's your risk of being victimized? It's fairly low. Crime is not going through the roof. We still live in relatively safe communities. We're certainly safer when compared to the highest crime rate communities in the nation. But Pierce County, which has a large urbanized population, does have a somewhat higher crime rate compared with other counties in Washington. We have more than our share of real-time, prime-time, big-time crime. And as the county grows, this will increase. Experts expect that crime, and especially violent crime, will show a modest increase after many years of lower rates. It's time to think seriously about what we intend to do about this. It's time to decide what we will need to do to drive that crime curve down. So, what should you do with this information right now? What steps should you take? First, it's important for you to report crimes when they come to your attention. Remember, we rely on crime reports to gauge the level of crime and the location of crime. This is how we assess what resources we'll need to address the challenge and how we decide where we're going to deploy our personnel to have the maximum positive impact. Call 911 whenever a crime is in progress, when there's an emergency, and when an officer or deputy is needed. Call 798-4722 for non-emergency and not in progress situations, or when you just want to make us aware of an ongoing problem. Next, be an intelligent consumer of crime rate information. Don't just consider percentage increases. Consider the size of the raw numbers of incidents involved. Remember that the crime rates which you hear about in the news describe reported crime and do not include the higher rate known as criminal victimization rate. Always ask the question, compared to what? When crime rates are cited, be sure to have a reference point. Finally, as we enter a period of population growth, begin to see an uptick in crime, remember this: public safety is not a spectator sport. It takes cooperation between the community and law enforcement. It takes your willingness to report crimes, to prioritize public services that you receive, and to work with us to catch criminals. It's essential to community safety. You have a responsibility as a citizen to be informed about what you can do to lower your risk of becoming a victim. We need to know your expectations of us, and you need to know about our capacity to deliver services to you. I want to do more to push the crime rate down. Our deputies want to do more. With crime rates edging up, we'll need your help to do more.